Welcome to another Horse & Co tutorial with Storm. Today we're just using the pen again today. We're going to be switching to and from one rein to a neck rope. We really should be just working on the one rein, but I'm just going to keep testing them from now every now and again just to make sure we're improving. So today we're starting to look at a little bit of forward motion, but I really want to push that quadrant 2 across, get them really responding to that, pushing the quadrant 4 across and backing up and stopping. I want my brakes and my steering before I ask to go forward. So not really concerned too much of going forward at the moment. If I ask for it and I get it, that's all well and good. But if he does it on his own accord, that's all well and good. I'll take that opportunity to practice some steering and some stopping. At the moment, we're also using no distractions because I don't want to have to battle with distractions and trying to teach him which quadrants to push around. Now you can do all this in a saddle and a bridle if you wish. You just got to remember that when you're using a bridle or you're using spurs, they are an amplifier, so you do have to be more gentle with the bridle because it will be amplifying your signals. I tend to get the horse understanding what I want first before I add spurs or bridle. So at the moment we're just working on standing still, going forward a little bit. No distractions at the moment, that's important. It'll just make my life a lot harder. We'll introduce distractions maybe in the next week or two. Okay, now we're up to another session. This is another day. Same thing, different day. So the last session that we just had was like a quick session of just really basic stuff of what I wanted. I would hop straight on and try not to muck around too much and just get what I want and then hop off again. Today we're just going to practice the same thing. Just pushing quadrant 2 around, pushing quadrant 4, and practicing even just standing still, going backwards, still struggling with the going backwards. Hopefully we'll pick up on that. Just using the neck rope at the moment. We'll go back to using a single rein if he struggles with the neck rope. So if he struggles with the neck rope, I'm going to go back to the single rein. And I'm just working on what works for this particular horse. I'm not using a lot of leg aid at the moment, just teaching him my body weight. Pushing the quadrant 4 around. It doesn't matter what signals you do or whether you're in a saddle or not. It's important that it's consistent, so the same signals all the time, and you release the pressure when you get what you want. You'll notice that when I apply it, even when I'm on his back, I've got to apply the pressure, and I keep applying the same pressure until I get what I want, and then release. It's the same as being on the ground, as what we did on the ground. Apply the same pressure. If we can't get the pressure right, then we'll stop and we'll re-ask for it again. So sometimes you apply a bit of pressure, and if he doesn't know what you want, he'll start to panic a little bit. Now, I tend to teach everything in a head collar first before I put in a bridle on. So the horse has got to understand what I want from him before I put the bridle on, because the bridle will just be an amplifier to my hand signals. This horse, Storm, will probably never have a bridle on. He's going to go from one rein to a neck rope. So I'm not worried about, we're going to skip that part of this horse, putting the bridle on. Same with the saddle, he'll be ridden bareback. If you can ride the horse bareback first, you shouldn't have any problems with the saddle as long as the horse trusts you. If you've done all your groundwork right, you should be fine. I've got a couple of other horses, Jazz and Socks, never had saddles on before. One's 9, one's 14. Always been ridden bareback and bridleless, and I could guarantee putting a saddle on them and they'd be fine. Same with a bridle, because I wouldn't be pulling from the mouth to steer my horse. I'd be using my legs and my body weight. At the moment, Storm's really at basics, but you'll be able to see him improving as time goes on. So we're just pushing that quadrant 2 across, try to get some steering. Got the solid walls there at the moment, so if he does crash into the fence, that's fine. We'll just let him crash into it, and then we'll ask for what I was asking for before he crashed into it. So whether I was disengaging number 2 or number 4, or asking him to stop, I'll just keep asking, and I'm not worried about him crashing or going off down the paddock. Okay, here we are back up at the round pen again, just doing a wee test, new environment. Out to about my 9 o'clock, there's some horses running around in the paddock, which is going to be a distraction. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to go straight over to that and see what's going on. So, I'm just going to work with that. And then I'm going to ask, once he's over there, I'll ask for what I wanted again. And it's not really teaching him anything new today. This is the first time he's really had a bit of a distraction, and I just want him to listen to me, or to tune into me, rather than what's going on the other side of the fence there. So I want him to be able to ride away from it if I can, and when he starts paying attention to me, I'm not trying to teach him anything new. I just working on what I've been working on the last couple of days, but with a distraction there. So once I get his focus, then I'll release the pressure. Even if it is just standing still, facing the other direction away from where he wants to go. Alright, so I'm just going to let you watch this last few minutes of this tutorial, just in this round pen here with the distractions going on. And you'll just notice that we're not doing anything special, but I'm not releasing the pressure until I feel as though he's tuning in or listening to me. I know what he's going to do. He's going to keep going over that corner, and I'm going to try to keep him focused elsewhere. That's the main goal for today. We've got very limited tools at the moment. He doesn't know much, so we're trying to keep it basic, but still trying to achieve something. So get him moving away from the distraction, and if he goes back over there, that's fine. I'll give him a signal to say, hey, that's not what I wanted. I might give him a little tap on the side of quadrant 2 there, or a little tap with my leg, or ask him to stop. Alright, it took quite a while there to stop, but that's alright. I got what I wanted, so I'll just release. Now what I might do is, he's struggling a little bit with the neck rein, which is fine, because this is the first time he's really been up here with distractions going on. So we're going back to a single lead rein now, a single rein. It makes it a little bit easier, just because we're working in an environment that he's struggling with just the neck rope. So I'm going to take it back one notch and just see if we can get a better result just with the single rein, just pushing that quadrant, guiding the quadrant 4 around, pushing quadrant 2 from one side, but pulling on the other side. So I'm getting a push-pull motion rather than just a push motion from quadrant 2. So just keep watching the rest of this for the next 15-20 minutes, and just notice how he keeps going back over to the same spot, and how I'm trying to get his attention, and I don't release the pressure until I feel as though he's paying attention to me. As I said before, you can do all of this groundwork on his back, or on whoever horse you're working with, your horse at home, with a saddle and bridle. Just be careful with your signals, okay? With his going backwards, he's still struggling with going backwards, but because I've just got a head collar on, I can be a little bit firmer, alright? I wouldn't be nearly as firm if I had a bit in his mouth. You'd have to be a lot more gentle, otherwise you're probably going to end up having a bit of a domestic and end up on the ground. Okay, I'm just going to show half the lesson today, because the last half of the lesson is pretty much just repeating what we've just seen for the first 15 minutes. So the whole lesson was half an hour long, and I'm pretty sure you got the idea of it now. Just working on the old stuff that we Don't teach him anything new. When there's distractions around, just use the old stuff that the stuff that you've been working on the last few days, I should say. You may not have it going quite right, like my backwards is quite rough at the moment. He's still resisting that, and his steering's still a little bit rough, and well, everything's a little bit rough at the moment. But we've achieved something today, and I've got his attention. So we're just going to leave it at that, and we'll have another go doing something else tomorrow and see how he goes. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.